I'm not really sure. I think they probably grabbed their
I think I get through 5, right? That's
next.
what I would say. You see that it's gonna be you see the supports for the offlane, right? So you just want to pick a hero that is good enough against those supports. Um, that would be my
Bench.
idea, right?
Yeah, they need some sort of save from the chrono though, because if your life stealer goes down, you're not going to have a good time. So I'm thinking that they might take a vengeful spirit or something to
Venge,
swap them
Oracle,
out.
both really good.
Oh, yeah, Oracle's still in the pool. I forgot that hero existed. I don't think
That
anyone's
hero
played
got
it.
an immortal, man. How did you forget
It's your
it?
turn to pick.
Chen. Okay, that's a save. A lot of heals. You get Hand of God and Mech eventually. Also, the regen amp just with Life Stealer is very nice.
Hmm. That's not bad. I'm not crazy about this, but it'll work. Again, your life stealer has a bad
10
lane. You're not going to
seconds
scale into the
remain.
early game. You're not going to scale into the late. And Thunder Predator have a couple of options for countering him
5
out here.
seconds.
I mean, Slardar is still in the pool.
Yeah, Slardar to me makes the most sense. It's great against Sand King. You're against a Marana. So this almost seems like a no-brainer. You could even go the Midas on Slardar this game and use it to just punish Chen creeps as well. Like there's a lot of things you can build into that would work. And it always amps Faceless Void. Like Faceless Void, one of the highest damage late game carries. Pair that with Amplify Damage, or used to be Amplify Damage, Corrosive Haze. Sorry, I love that they renamed all his abilities eventually. But yeah, we'll see what they decide to go with.
Mhm. I'm thinking it's got to be
It is
Slardar. It hasn't been
Radiant's
that popular in this tournament, so it's
sack.
possible that a lot of people have just forgotten about it here in NA. They haven't seen it run any other games. They go, "Who's Slardar?" Okay, if no other team's running it, it must not be good.
Yeah,
It does not pick it. It's still being run in Europe and Southeast Asia, I believe, in the Pro Series. So I don't know. NA players are
10
weird, man.
yeah.
seconds.
We
I say
saw.
that as a weird NA player.
I would say, yeah, you're preaching to the choir, man. We did see it get banned actually in a couple games. I
Yeah.
believe that was like a good start our game, and then both teams were like, we need to actually ban this hero.
It
It's
is
going to be too
time
strong
to
if it gets
ban.
through, and we'll see what they opt to ban for. They get rid of the Monkey King from 0, which that's a
What?
little bit bizarre to
It
me.
is Radiant's
You
ban.
don't think that hero's strong either right now, do you?
I mean, I think he's a strong hero, but there's normally it's like specifically a counter pick, right? So I'm wondering, like, I haven't seen the matchup between like Monkey King and Leshrac too often, but I can't imagine Leshrac loses that lane.
Well,
10
they
seconds
actually put
remain.
Leshrac in the off lane as well.
Yeah, you could
It is
also rotate it
Diamond's
off. That's
ban.
absolutely true. Ban
Yeah.
Death Prophet.
So they might just pick up a Kunkka here. When you ban Monkey King, generally you're playing
A
a
melee
melee
mid.
mid laner. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my initial thought, and it is also Kunkka could be a deny pick as well. It is very good for Zero's draft. That's the way I looked at
10
this. When you have a
seconds.
Marana, Sand King Lifestealer, Kunkka in general just seems to
5
me like a
seconds
very, very
remain.
strong pick for them. So deny pick,
Mm.
but also a solid mid laner in general. Typically comes out of the lane phase as like the top CS, top net worth almost every single time,
Radiant's turn
as
to
long as he's
pick.
not hard countered in lane. And there's the Kunkka ban. Good call.
Yeah. Next, if
Diamond's
they don't have that, they
turn.
might pick DK or something.
Void
Ooh,
Carnival.
okay.
That is
That's
that's a Thunder
interesting.
Predator staple to
Special,
my knowledge.
yeah. Yep. These spirit heroes, Leo Style and Matthew both run them very well. And
Yeah.
it's very interesting because they're able to play them in the 4 and the mid. They can pick them in the
10
first phase. If the
seconds.
enemy counters them out with anything and the draft goes on, they go, okay, Matthew, you're
Matthew, it's
up.
your
10
hero now.
seconds.
Let's push that over there.
He actually does so well with it, even after they
Yeah.
catch him, though. Like, there's been a couple of games when Nyx was a bit more popular. They'd pick Ember in the first phase of the draft, and then they'd be like, okay, we'll counter it out with Nyx. We're always going to be able to get that initial stun onto you if you've got Flame Guard up. You walk into you with the Invis and set up.
Storm Spirit.
And they picked Storm Spirit last.
Make the
Thunder
ultimate
Predator
choice.
actually really have this one. This is going to be another game where Envy on this Lifestealer is going to be forced to build a BKB. And that feels very bad on Lifestealer. If you have this magic immunity hero, you don't have to deal with these like hard lockdown slash silence. And of course, Leo Style, once he gets that Egg and Scepter, is going to have huge shutdown for both Roya and Eternal Envy.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. Like it just does so much work, the AoE silence, and then this offlane Frank Leshrac isn't really in any kill threat, right? By a life stealer Chen. He can kind of just sit in lane, farm it up, throw your split earths, your lightnings, and max diabolic edict, and eventually just take your tower as soon as you leave the lane. So I feel like Frank set up for a pretty decent game as well. We're gonna see Matthew on the shaker there. Yeah, I mean, I love Thunder Predator's draft. I think you and I are kind of on the same page. Ryoya's got a lot of work cut out for him to do well in this game.
Yeah, I mean, not only do I prefer their draft, but Thunder Predator, they're fourth in this tournament right now. I think this will allow them to tie for third if they take this series 2-0. And Team Zero is near the bottom here. And again, they need to be able to win at least one game in this series. Otherwise, what was their score against Haven Liberty? Team Zero? Were they 1-1?
Zero actually 2-0'd Liberty. So this
so they went
was
head-to-head?
Yeah, so in the head-to-head, Zero is the winner. So if they get 0-2'd here, I believe they are still safe, but you do have to consider Infinity Esports, who is, at 1-1 with nearly every single team in the entire tournament. Infinity has done some weird stuff in this bracket, but game one, man, it's gonna be fun. Team Zero versus Thunder Predator, always a treat to watch.
Do we have that? I imagine they'll, even if the head-to-head rule isn't there. I imagine the head-to-head rule is there, but if it isn't, they'll be like, okay, guys, it's head-to-head. We don't have time for another game.
Like, we don't have time for this. We're just gonna call head-to-head. Yeah. No, well, I'll definitely look up the rules in a little bit between the games here and see exactly what's going on.
There was a real rough one a number of months ago. I'm not sure if you remember it. It'll always be remembered in my heart as Tiebreaker Tuesday.
Oh my gosh. Weren't there like 7 tiebreaker games played or something?
There were 9.
Oh my god.
Infamous, sorry, that was Infamous, Thunder Predator, and Beast Coast. So I think Thunder Predator took Beast Coast took Infamous took Thunder Predator, and it happened the first 6 games. There was no conclusive results, and then finally after they did the run for the 3rd time, they I think Beast Coast and Thunder Predator ended up getting through, and that was for the LA Major, so they were both just like
well, NB top lane, they do find a nice fissure there from Matthew. He's gonna body block him as well. Frank, obviously with his split earth, will stun up a 2nd time. I mean, no TP, right? We'll pop the rage and try and get away here, but I mean, he lost a lot of regen to start the lane. Chen maybe has a sal for him. Nope, just the headdress start. So gonna start back pretty far in this lane.
Yeah, you're gonna be forced to go Divine Favor instead of Holy Persuasion, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think you might have to go Divine Favor here. Matthew's gonna go for it again. He's looking for the Chen. Smart play by him. They want to zone him off.
Yeah, they end up getting the bounty runes off of that one as well. 2 for 2, despite shutting down Eternal Envy's farm. He's gonna go through all of his regen. He was forced to go Rage at level 1 to get out of that. So he's not going to have Feast for that extra attack speed to help himself grab CS.
Yeah. And we talked about how Frank should have a pretty solid lane, and this just makes that so much better.
Yeah. I mean, Envy, he is able to get out of some of these rougher spots. When he sees them winding up that stun for the split earth, he can just rage and walk away. But of course, Diabolic Edict is a spell that goes through immunity.
Mm-hmm. You can always pump fake split earth too. It has a great cast, a real nice long cast point there. So pump faking it's pretty easy. Trigger the rage and be like, ha, got him. Ooh, bottom lane is having a void here. Yeah, I was like, he probably went Caustic Finale and got a couple pops on him. That's exactly what happened. So this lane is pretty rough for the Faceless Void, right? Because there's so much consistent damage that can come out from the Sand King.
Yeah, I mean, you dodge one.
Oh, Enchantress, Burrow Strike Arrow. They got first blood, goes over to Brax. You and I both thought at the exact same time.
But as you were saying, though, with that Caustic Finale, you'd think that Void would be good at it, dodging at the damage, but it just happens so consistently. Like, you dodge one burst, the Caustic Finale, then suddenly you're hit by the next one a couple seconds later.
It's quite a significant AoE, too. Isn't it 500? It is. Yeah, it's 500 radius, which you don't really, you can't see when you hover over it, but when you actually realize how large of a zone that is, it's pretty substantial. Bottom lane, snaking, no leaps, gets level 2 just now thanks to the creep wave kill there from Brax. Could they turn it? Burrow Strike, arrow to follow. They're going to go and try and bring down the Enchantress. A nice turn of events. And with those extra leap charges, one more auto attack, Brax gets his 2nd kill of the lane stage.
So now you have to do the sad walk of shame back in. Your TP's on cooldown. And
Basis Void has no time walk.
Yeah, he's just dead.
He's just dead. That's a double kill for Brax. Well, this bottom lane is looking real good for Zero now.
Yeah, everything not going so hot for Envy at the top lane, but Brax, you know, working on getting that Chipotle sponsorship.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if you see, it's not even just Chipotle, it's everything at this point. Split Earth, Fissure, top lane, Chen, falling low, Diabolic Edict. Oh, that was like a 700 range enchant totem, but you will get the kill either way.
The attack range on it, it's supposed to increase your attack range by 75, but it gets pretty wonky sometimes.
Yeah, because there's always the like idea where once the animation starts, as long as you doesn't get completely outranged, it'll finish.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
Back at like at some of the earlier TIs, like 3, 4, 5, you'd see like Storm Spirit zip away from a Lifestealer, and Lifestealer get like the 500, 600 range attack off.
Oh yeah, dude, I don't remember. I don't forget those. Those were classics.
It's like, wait, can we get a ref in on this one? I don't think that was a legal melee
Can we rewind real quick? Yeah, I mean, looking at the CS right now. Mid lane, pretty even, right? Ryoya and Leo style, kind of going back and forth. We kind of expected this. I mean, neither of these heroes are really hard countered in the lane stage. It's really what happens once they get items and who comes out ahead, right? I think as soon as Leo style gets a Yule Scepter, Ryoya's game becomes very difficult. And if Ryoya comes ahead and gets an Orchid this game, then he's looking really good.
Yeah, the question is if the Orchid comes out fast enough, or if you're worried about an Orchid coming out even quicker from Leo style, because again, you are susceptible to getting jumped on by several of these heroes. They get the long range initiation from the Earthshaker with the Fissure from out of vision, then of course get on top of you and hit you with that Astral Step Orchid.
Yeah, always one of the things that's like really fun about Dota, just how close like these hero matchups and counters are. Bottom lane, another Burrow Strike arrowed onto the Enchantress, this time the Sandstorm to help Snake King picking up his first kill of the lane, but 4-0 in this bottom lane now. Makes this, I mean, Brax, I imagine Brax and Snake King are just giggling right now.
Well, maybe they're giggling, maybe they're taking this super seriously. Because again, they are very low in the groups.
Yeah.
Infinity, I think, could end up passing them here. They have another game today, though.
Yep, Infinity's the last game of the day. So the thing is all 4 series today have severe placement implications, right? So, ooh, top lane Chen gets caught out. Another Fissure into that Split Earth. Moo is gonna be able to get out. Looks like he's just trapped there. The Diabolic Edict doing just a little bit too much work, and Frank will find himself his second kill on the top lane.
He actually tried to convert that melee creep and hold it, or sorry, range creep and hold it close to him to spread out that damage of the Diabolic Edict. It was a nice try, but didn't do quite enough there.
Yeah, definitely. Smart plays coming out from the boy, but level 5 Leshrac, 3 points in Edict, just a little bit too much. So Envy's level 4. He has got 27 CS. He is slightly ahead of Leshrac, but Leshrac with a pretty significant experience advantage. Ooh. What? Is that a rotation bottom? It was. Well, first T tours of the game. You're welcome. You get one, chat. You get one. That's it.
So just to make them feel good about themselves for, you know, when they observe.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have gotten it.
That's your one.
If I look too good, Twitch chat will feel self-conscious. That's what Ricky's thinking right now.
They'll just assume I'm a bot, you know? But we have a bot observing.
It's actually directed camera. You know, we should say, "Oh, our obs guy, everybody." My God.
Yeah. Oh my God. What is our obs guy doing?
Gasping someone who isn't even there.
Yeah. Gosh.
I think that's what you're supposed to do in like the entertainment industry. You just like deflect the blame onto someone else as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. Ooh, DD Rune bottled up on Ryoya. That gives him something nice to work with. Gives him. I mean, the question is, what lane do you rotate on? He does have the level 1 Vortex. They could bring down the Faceless Void with an easy arrow follow-up. He does have Mask of Madness now as well, but no Chrono. Quite yet. Very close.
it's difficult to find a target here because they're kind of dominating most of the lanes. I mean, Enchantress is an easy target, but kills on her aren't going to matter that much. She's in position 5.
Her Shaker's coming over. They get the Remnant, the oh, the Fissure Splitter. Very good rotation. Nice setup. They pinged it out. They're like, hey, buddy, you guys want to kill this Storm Spear real quick? Bottom lane Chrono catches both. They bring down the Mirana. Brax now has to retreat. Does have Sandstorm, but he's inside of that Sentry Ward. If they get a couple bashes here, maybe they can bring him down. Time walk forward to catch him. MJZ Impetus on the mark, but Brax just a little bit too fast potentially. One more Impetus would be enough, but he's going to go ahead and Quelling Blade into those trees. Brax will survive. A couple really good kills for Thunder Predator, evening it out a little bit.
Yeah, Brax has been playing this really clutch though. I'd say he's like the one factor that's keeping Zero from falling apart in this laning phase though. And 3-1-0 or 3-1-1, not bad at all.
No deaths yet. Oh, what? That's not what that means. That is definitely we're gonna ignore that. Dude, MJZ is just getting slapped by snaking right now. I mean, he's got a leap charge. I don't think he wants to go in without an extra one, but yeah, diving the tower there would be pretty risque for sure.
MJZ is basically the designated Team Zero punching bag at this point.
Yeah, it's
dying time and time again.
So one of the things to point though is the Frank's rotation to the mid lane did give Envy a lot of space, right? He was just left solo. What was
punching bag's about to take a hit.
Oh.
I can just see this coming.
Oh,
Stormfield's
no?
got a DD. It's just MJZ down here by himself. No one's coming for him.
They're like, hey, you got that tower, right, dog? Like, don't worry about it. You can defend it. All you, brother.
Leave Zero to me, says MJZ.
Yeah. You know, he's gonna do his best. He's gonna do his best. That's really all you can ask.
I can see how this is gonna happen already. Like they're either gonna scan it or shoot an arrow to get vision of MJZ. They're gonna see no one else is there, and then they're just gonna be like, you know what? Get him, boys.
Yeah, no one's gonna TP in against a DD Storm here, right? Like that's just not a good idea. Oh, Storm's leaving. Oh no.
Oh, it's a miracle.
Enchantress survives?
She just revealed herself by enchanting the creep.
Yeah.
But the Storm Spirit's gone.
Storm Spirit's too far away. She's good. Solo defended tower. What a player.
And got the last hit on the melee creep under the tower using the ranged creep with the +30. What a gamer.
Yeah, that's a very high skill plays there.
Take notes, everybody. That's how you defend towers.
Look at Moo, man. He is just walking around the jungle with some boys, killing some creeps, having a grand old time. Top of the supports as far as net worth goes. And this is a lot of this comes out from the rotation to the mid lane, right? Like they leave Envy top to solo. Moo's like, I guess I'll just jungle. This sounds pretty cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I mean, Envy's like, oh, sorry, not Envy. Lifestealer's like Juggernaut that way, where he's not that susceptible to ganks because he has that ability to just pop magic immunity and TP out, like the Blade Storm, and then leave, essentially. They don't have that much physical damage at this point. You do have a Chrono to worry about, but you are aware that it's still on cooldown. You're not going to be able to just jump on Envy and cancel his TP at the moment.
Yeah. Nice ward sentry here, placed by Matthew, right next to the tier 1 bottom. It does always reveal that deep sentry that people like to, or the deep ward that people like to place there behind the tower. So it will have that vision advantage. Try and keep that Enchantress alive, or at least give her knowledge of a rotation.
I was about to say that I was going to be standing corrected because, you know, Chrono's off cooldown. He's got Mask of Madness ready. They do have vision of MNZ here with this Observer Ward. I thought he was going to try and grab Envy in the jungle.
They just smoked. They're looking for the Lifestealer here, actually. Ryo's going to walk up to the Lifestealer, get that Infest, and I think they're going to try and make a play. Or Leshrac might just be the unfortunate target here of this rotation. And there's
Frank
Ball Lightning in. He tries to sniff it out. Yeah, that Split Earth not going to connect. Try to get it off now, but obviously Rage makes it very easy to dodge, and Eternal Envy grabs that nice kill. Very smart play from the Dire. Playing very aggressive there on the Leshrac, but there's no real save coming in. Like you said, you had the Faceless Void Chrono, but they had that deep ward to see this rotation if they get up here.
Yep. I mean, once you get onto the Leshrac with a couple heroes, you have these slows. You're able to just run him down. He doesn't have any save at this point. And he's actually opting to build a mech first rather than a Yules, which will be great for this early push and team fight.
Bottom lane, another Burrow Strike arrow combination comes out. This time Brax might actually be in trouble here. A Burrow Strike in 2 seconds if he can get away, but pulled back in by the remnant of Leo style, and they burst him down just in time. Nicely played. Good TP rotation to punish this, and trading that Brax, who is the top net worth of 0, for the Enchantress, who is number 10 on net worth. That's got to be a pretty feels good.
Oh, yeah. We talked about this, though. You're the punching bag.
Chrono. They're going for it with Split Earth to follow. This should be a kill. He gets the Hand of God, the Pulse Nova. Frank finds it. Really well done.
The good stuff right there, but he's not done.
He's got to be careful. MNZ, I mean, he time walked forward. He does have 4 points in, but there's the stomp. Time walks out to dodge a lot of that damage. In fact, he just denied his boy's Centaur. What is Envy? How mean. Moo's got to be pretty upset about that one.
That Centaur wasn't done yet. He still had energy. He could fight.
Enchantress and Chen fighting over the tomato. I think he tried to go for the enchanted creep, but he clicked the wrong one.
Yeah. There used to be a thing where they would just keep on gaining HP when you enchant it, and then Chen would take it, you enchant it,
Oh
Chen
my
would
god,
take it.
I hated that. Yeah, it was max HP increase on enchant and persuasion, and then you'd eventually just let Clinks consume it, and he'd have like 1,000 plus bonus damage. It was good stuff.
Yeah, you can get it pretty high these days, like the lifesteal infesting someone and whatnot. But
yeah,
no, they didn't run Clinks with this draft, unfortunately. Would have been fun to see.
So Pink's coming out mid lane. The Orchid reveal onto the Storm Spirit in the Remnant map. He falls with a little enchant totem. He has a little slap and tickle, and they're gonna find not only the kill there, but the tower in the top lane as well. And I mean, Brax is in. A nice root comes out from Moo. He gets the time walk off thanks to the split earth of Frank, and they're gonna try and turn it. Frank does a pretty substantial amount of damage. Orchid comes out on the backside. There's a nice vision to block off the escape. Burrow Strike will bring down the Storm Spirit Matthew. The Echo doesn't do much of anything, and now Snakekin getting bashed up. MNZ, gotta be careful. He had the Mask of Madness on, just dies. Oh no, his team abandoned him. Leo Styles like, later, I'm out, man.
Yeah, I don't know who this Faceless Void is. My teammate would never activate a Mask of Madness that far in. I don't know.
Yeah, he went in, I think he just assumed Leo Style was going to be there to continue fighting. And that was definitely not the case. Leo Style backed as soon as Lestrak fell, and Matthew had already committed Echo. There was nothing really left in the tank for the guys.
Yep. But right now we're seeing, well, that last fight definitely went the same way of Team Zero, but we're seeing the effects of Orchid wanting to be built on the Storm Spirit. Again, you managed to finish it first on the Void Spirit here because he didn't bother going for anything else, and he farmed a little bit better. Because you opted not to go the Yule Scepter, you have to play so far back and be constantly afraid of him jumping on top of you with that initial Fisher stun, and then the Orchid. I mean,
yeah.
Dota 2's that is different from League in the way that you can just blow somebody up from out of position. Like strategy plays such a large factor compared to juking. Like you tell a League player oh yeah, someone can just blink on top of you, instantly disable you, and then 100 to 0 you if they're like will combo with their team from out of vision. They're like, that's stupid. You shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah. Blink Burrow Strike bottom, the arrow. Hey, what were you saying about blowing up a hero 100 to 0? Something along those lines of, yeah, you can just die in less than a second out of nowhere. That's exactly what happens, but look who's getting found in the mid lane. An Invis Rune on the Void Spirit finds the Storm Remnant to simulate Fissure to finish him up. Matthew, the support tax now 2-0 and 4. I mean, honestly, getting Matthew an early Blink Dagger this game is pretty huge. So I'm okay with him taking these kills.
Oh yeah, sometimes I was a big advocate on this a number of years ago, but we're finally starting to see it in professional again. Well, we've been seeing it for a little bit. But your position 5 isn't always the position 5. Like the Blink Dagger is going to make a much bigger difference on you than like 5,000 net worth on your core hero. Mid lane, Void Spirit's actually a drop.
Blink Burrow Strike didn't technically miss the kill there, so feels good. Yeah, just that Burrow Strike arrow combination, right? The Veil completed on Sand King there makes it amp so much more damage. Level 4 Starfall, if I had to guess. Yep, nicely done. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of match. Oh, look at Chen Army, double Wild Wing Ripper. Unfortunately, those auras do not stack, but either way, a lot of auras here and a lot of damage here. They're gonna be able to push down these towers very quickly. Glyph comes out. I mean, they're looking like they want to defend. The Blink Dagger just completed on Matthew as it gets delivered on the
It could
courier.
be such a big echo.
Yeah, but look at the way they're positioned on zero. They are so spread. They get the tower and they go immediately south, right? They know Thunder Predator is hiding on the high ground there. Really well read by them. They will get the scan on the mark. Does see Leo style, so Dire still a little bit afraid, getting back farther and farther into the Radiant jungle.
I think like before you really commit too hard on that one, Matthew, you're waiting for the next creep wave to come in. But like you said, positioning was too good. They were playing over on this angle, and then the healers were further over here, so it would have stopped any potential blink egg reveal from this Earthshaker.
Yeah.
Envy has to be careful now, though. Oh.
I mean, Matthew's eyeballing him, man. If he does get blink echoed, the follow-up damage from Frank and Leo style more than enough to bring him down. Oh, blink burrow strike on the mark, does catch the Void Spirit. Dissimilate will dodge it for the moment. Did Enchantress actually enchant that creep to block the arrow? She did. Oh my gosh. I was like, that arrow should have hit. So a really nice save there from the Enchantress.
This guy does it on ping, too.
Yeah.
Matthew, he just doesn't miss.
Yeah, that was so smart. Because I saw the Chen army going in, I was like, yeah, I mean, no Radiant creeps here, but Enchantress, the actual 5-head, turns one of those creeps around, sacks it with an arrow.
Thank you for explaining 5-head to me. Alright, this is wild. The Storm Spirit's actually opting to go for the Bloodstone next rather than the Yules.
Ryoya is, I mean, I guess they're relying on the Chen heals and there's the backup of Sand King and Mirana, but yeah, this is a very greedy starting.
You're 0-4. Come on.
TP right on the mark. They catch the Void Spirit, Orchid, and the Burrow Strike. That was a very optimistic TP. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that one. Dire gonna go ahead and respond to top now since the Void Spirit is dead. MNZ pops that. Time dilation. Sand King in a little bit of trouble, but in comes the Storm Spirit. The Infest as well. Brack's the first one to fall, but the Chrono right on the mark. He goes out, but he goes back in. Storm Spirit in a little bit of trouble. Arrow will come out, but does only connect onto the Enchantress. It will go ahead and bring her down. All spells committed on the side of Thunder Predator, not finding anything besides the Sand King.
That was a bit of a symphony of misplays there for Thunder Predator. Not coming on the board, getting back. Frank ended up popping more of his mana than he wanted to. I think his Arcane Boots were still on cooldown for a moment there. So because he left his Pulse Nova on, he didn't have mana to follow up that Chronosphere with his Split Earth and keep them stunned up.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I was like, I didn't see the Split Earth come out, and Storm Spirit was just living on a sliver of health. So that would make a lot more sense. Faceless Void's going for Monkey King Bar, first item after that Mask of Madness.
Okay, it's an interesting choice.
It is a lot of damage, but there's like no one building a halberd right now, is there?
No, nobody's building a halberd yet. I mean, Lifestealer will get it eventually.
Yules?
Yes.
Arrow? Starstorm? This should be a kill. Eventually, a couple leaps, he'll find it. No points in Nature's Attendance, right? Very interesting. Oh, Brax comes on out, nice little blink kill. They give Moo in the mid lane on the Chen, so they do trade the 5 positions, but bottom tier 2 now under siege and will go down to Envy. So just the placement on the map there from Zero favoring them.
I don't think they can actually... Alright, if they got the MKB now, they will have the damage to Roche. I take it back.
Yeah, this isn't the fastest Roche, and the question is, will Zero sniff this out? They do have scan. Not seeing anybody on the Radiant quite yet. Oh, the Radiant scans the top half. Dire, they have no idea. They're gonna get this. MNZ grabs himself a free Aegis there, like you said, the Monkey King Bar. A huge damage boost for this hero.
A tithe to the impurities.
But, again, they don't have any evasion yet, but they will. Eventually, there will be Heaven's Halberd completed on the Lifestealer, I believe, and he's got that 20 talent for the 16% evasion that he's probably gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Later we'll see some more evasion come out, but I'm not sure. That's probably just going to be it.
Yeah, it is just a very significant damage item in Chrono, right? Like, it always pretty much secures a kill on whoever it is you decide to attack. The question is, can he make sure to stick on a target, right? You do have Arrow, you have the Burrow Strike, Epicenter, you have Hand of God. Like, there's a lot of things that they can do to kind of dissuade this Chrono from, finding an easy kill, but... Infest mid lane. They're in the Sand King.
I thought there was a subtle flame at the Void. It can't stick on a target inside the Chrono with what he did earlier.
Oh.
You just meant a lot of stun going in the enemy team.
Yeah, I just meant in general, like Zero can throw stuff into the Chrono, and until he has BKB, he's got to be very careful.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, man, come on, go easy on the guy.
No, not a flame on the player by any means.
That's what I like doing. I flame the players.
Bottom lane, they're looking for the Leshrac. I don't know if they saw him, but they will now. Brax with the Infest. The question is, do they dive that deep for it? They're a little bit afraid. Under the cover of Moonlight Shadow, they're trying to find something. They're gonna go in TP Storm top. He does have the Orchid. Could look for the Faceless Void's Aegis.
Good.
They saw him right there, but
they spent a lot of time with Envy inside Sand King before finally giving up, so that definitely slowed down his farm. He's 14, Void almost 15. So he lost about like a full level there. He's definitely ahead of him, Predator, sitting in Brax for so long.
Yeah. I do think the build here from Envy, I do really like, right? This Armlet Deso into the Assault Cuirass gives him a lot of survivability. Ooh, the Rune, very close. Both mid lanes going for it. I'm really just expecting Thunder Predator to kind of group up here and take a fight with this, like Chrono and Aegis, right? Like this, to me, seems like Thunder Predator is very strong right now.
Well, they got two heroes that are trying to build Black King Bar right now, so they probably just don't want to fight until that's completed. There is a lot of magic damage from the enemy team, and until you have it, I don't think you really want to push the high ground. If you can find a pick off, sure, great, but otherwise, like you get jumped on by the Sand King, you have to be worried about the Orchid coming out onto the Void Spirit. He definitely wants a BKB before he has to deal with the Storm.
Yeah.
He's got no Yules himself.
Yeah, both those boys need to get a BKB eventually. Did he end up... I was like, has he finished his Bloodstone? He's getting close, about 900 gold away, but still it's... I do worry for Ryoya rushing this Bloodstone.
Yeah. He's just not fighting the enemies very much at all anymore. They've kind of just accepted that the Storm Spirit's going to play very far back. He can't initiate onto the enemies unless it's like from his base, where he can clearly see the enemies use their abilities and put them on cooldown.
Thunder Predator's forcing the ejective. Snake in the backside does break Matthews. Blink for the time being. A nice Vortex initiation will hold the Faceless Void down, but time walks out. He's going to be safe. Backside, speaking of not being safe, is going to be the Snake King. Will go ahead and Yules himself for safety, but right into a Split Earth Enchant Totem. MNZ finds that kill with ease, and you're now down a hero going into the high ground.
Yeah, I'd say one of the less important ones, but that was your dominating streak down the run. Here comes the next creep wave. Oh,
nice
so
guess there by
close.
Leo style.
Yeah.
Chen Army did clear up mid lane to push that in, so that's nice. All right, the Infest, the stun onto the Faceless Void. The Echo does come out though, and they get the Storm Spirit, a 1-for-1 trade, but you have that Aegis advantage. Chrono still available. MNZ gonna definitely look to find one of those targets for his boys, but in the meantime, you got Diabolic Edict just burning down these buildings.
Yeah.
Creep Wave does come back to break that backdoor protection. I mean, Epicenter channels. There's the Blink stun. It comes on out. The arrow to follow. A nice tank, but you get the Faceless Void. Leo style trying to disengage. Leshrac will go down as well. Brax looking for more. Snake King and Eternal Envy in pursuit. They get the first Yules. Burrow Strike easy. Oh, it misses. Dissimulate up on the high ground. Not going to get that TP though, as a bash from Eternal Envy as well as the arrow from Snake King comes out. A 3-for-1 on the high ground. I mean, that's a great hold.
It is an amazing hold, and you know, Zero just I guess recognizing that the best time to initiate onto the enemies is when they're willing to commit onto their melee back for just a little bit longer. I think it ended up dropping below 50 HP there. Just 1 or 2 more hits, they would have been able to take that one and have a significant advantage in this lane, just constantly pushing in the top for them.
Yeah,
but you know, it ended up costing them everything because Void was too far forward.
Envy has found
have very
Matthew.
much HP.
That's just a free kill. He just presses rage with a haste rune, and you cannot get away from that boy.
Yeah. He's working on a 4 staff now, pulling at it 4.
That was close. Ryoya gets that Bloodstone finish. Would have loved to have it in that last fight. Well, actually, maybe not, because he was the first one to die, but does have it now. These Blink initiations from Brax have been so strong in this game. You know, the Epicenter Burrow into that arrow, just so much damage. And there's no real hard save on the side of Thunder Predator, right? That's one of the things that, like, it's kind of the big difference between Zero's draft and Thunder Predator. They at least have Chen with these Guardian Greaves, Hand of God, but all you have is a mech on the Shrek. That's about it.
Yeah. Just type of insight on the Sand King now. It'll make the next team fight a little bit easier, but as you said, like Leshrac getting blown up, Faces Void getting blown up. He's all right. He's got his BKB now. He's gonna be just fine if they can't chain stun him down.
For me, the question is can he get the BKB off before he gets Burrow Strike, right? Like even though he has BKB, I feel like if he still gets stunned by the Sand King, he still dies, right? Like they do 100% him before he can get any spell off.
Yeah, like the Vortex comes in after that, the Arrow potentially after that.
Yeah, it just seems like there's a lot of problems for the Faceless Void. He will have to tank up. Salt Cuirass is next item to try and help with that, maybe.
Yeah. He needs damage as well. He definitely needed this MKB. His team will fall off if he doesn't build into the damage, but it's been him dying in these team fights. He's had to sit in front because you don't really have anyone else who can scout the enemies out and bait them and take into these fights. It's got to be him. He's got a lot of work to do.
And Brax in the mid lane. Sentry comes down as well as a dust. Short length Burrow Strike actually gets him out. All right. Thunder Predator just a little bit too hesitant to go on that guy.
I think you weren't quite in position with Matthew. He had to blink forward to get that Fisher off, and then no one else followed up. They thought, okay, Matthew, blink in and enchant Totem now. Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah. He's like, what do you mean? Yeah, I just did that. Brax gets caught. A nice silence there from the Orchid. They will bring him down eventually. He has been the only one kind of sitting in the mid lane, keeping this. Oh my gosh, look at that Roche respawn. An instant respawn, basically. 7 seconds.
I bet they scouted out with the Stormcrafter, so Zero's gonna know that's up. And I think they're trying to go scout it with the Courier.
This is a big win for Thunder Predator. I mean, they can take this tower and go straight Roche. Brax on the side for about 30 more seconds. Did you see it? Question is, do they have the damage to bring it down in time?
Oh, the Harpy Stormcrafter! He does it!
Does it kill the Courier? Oh my gosh. Backside of the fight, Snake King gets caught. Fissure not going to be on the mark. Will be able to leap away, and I don't think Leo Style has the catch here, so Snake King going to be just fine. He is potentially baiting this bottom, though, as Ryoya is right here.
Yeah. He's got to be careful coming onto Leo Style now, because he does have that Yules.
Yeah.
Up with the BKB Light, as they call it.
Yeah, BKB. Mirana is almost at an Aghanim Scepter. He is super farm. Look at that. I mean, there's an 8,000 gold lead for Zero. A lot of this is on the supports.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Aghanim Scepter was the item here. All right, she's got it now. Like that's just another couple hundred magical damage. I feel like that's not really going to matter in the grand scheme of things, especially against the Leshrac who's got the pipe.
Did you smoke up on Zero? Looking for these guys. They're going to head to the top lane. That outpost 30-minute bounties are coming, but Moonlight Shadow's out. They're gonna go ahead and find the Void Spirit, just dead immediately. Chrono dodged by Ryoya, but they do catch the Lifestealer. Can they bring him down in time? He does not have Infested. We just saw him use it. No rage available. Tries to get that open wounds healed, but he's falling super fast. The bashes from the Faceless Void is too much. The Epicenter comes out. He gets a double kill, and now the Faceless Void goes down as well. An ultra kill for Brax on the Sand King. Double buyback immediately from Thunder Predator as Roshan is available.
That's just Thunder Predator playing themselves again. You threw out the Chronosphere. It was way too late. Leshrac was basically already dead. Burrow Strike. Oh, fight's not over yet.
Found the Earthshaker. Did they even have a ward down here? Oh, they did. Yeah, okay. There's one on the high ground. I was like, where was this ward? How did he see him?
Yeah, the enemies haven't really been playing there, so you wouldn't think that there'd be a ward there. But again, you blocked the the Faceless Void off in his own Chronosphere with that Fissure that wasn't really on the mark and stunned out Lifestealer anyways. Storm Spirit got to do what he wanted. They blew up a Void Spirit at the start of the fight too.
Yeah, and that's a dieback on the Earthshaker too, which is pretty notable, right? The Blink Echo not available for this Roche defense. Lifestealer coming up in about 5 seconds, should just TP to the outpost.
Yeah.
You recall the Storm Spirit on in, so all 5 will be here. You have vision up on the high ground. They go right in a swarm. Silence up. No, quite not saved available, but we'll pop that Bloodstone active. Leo Style uses that second Astral Step to get away, but Snaking is going to stay on him. Brax dusted up inside his own Sandstorm. The Infest heal? Excuse me? Brax back to full health on the backside. Abyssal comes out onto Leo Style. He goes down. We'll buy back as well. Envy incredibly strong right now. Brax incredibly tanky. No Aeon Disc left, but the bash, the BKB from MNZ, they finally bring him down. The tanky boy will finally be claimed, and now Eternal Envy on the run. No rage for 7 seconds. Infest still down. They're going to leave him to die. It will be Leshrek that finds it, and now this is suddenly Thunder Predator's Roche. 2 heroes dead, 2 very important heroes for the side of Zero.
Yeah, what are the major... Oh,
Blink Echo?
Slam?
Did he catch Storm Spirit? He did. The Remnants on the Mark 2. They have the damage. Split Earth not even necessary. Frank has no mana, but who cares? The Yules comes out. They're going to hold the Mirana in place. She will go ahead and pop that Moonlight Shadow, but there's no way to survive. They end up getting 4 and the Roche.
Buybacks on... They don't have buybacks available. If they just ran down a lane right now, they could take a Rax. They could take 2 with this exposed. I'm not sure that they realize this, though. Frank, he doesn't have the mana.
Yeah, I was going to say, if Frank had mana right now, this would be a game changer, because that level 4 Edict is a lot of tower damage.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to get much off of this one. This takes a full 30 seconds to push through. By then, Lifestealer's back up. Stormfoods can be up in another 10. Unfortunate. I wanted to say about that last team fight, though. I think the biggest difference about why that went so well for Thunder Predator versus all the other ones is the hero that they chose to run in front. Again, because there's initiation power from the Sand King, if they get on top of Faceless Void or the Void Spirit, they just win. But when it's Enchantress sitting in front and scouting out the enemies for them, and like Roya going on the Enchantress at the start of that last fight, who cares if she dies?
Yeah.
You wasted your super powerful initiation. You didn't get the heroes with these big abilities that can take down the heroes.
They're going for the wraparound.
I think you just run the punching bag into the enemies. Like, face check everything with the Enchantress. Why not?
They're going for the real long wraparound because you've already lost the top Rax. Brax Infest right here. They're trying to find Matthew, but a nice fissure comes out right on the mark. Rioya trying to be saved. The epicenter of the Burrow Strike. It does connect, but the Chrono is just far too much. It's holding him in place. Sand King and Lifestealer just stuck here all by themselves. The Aeon Disc. There's the Abyssal Blade, but Envy just getting bashed over and over again from this Faceless Void. He can't do it. Not enough damage. He lost both cores. Brax at least makes it out, but what do you have left for this high ground defense? You've got Aegis on the Faceless Void. Did they consume cheese? I think they did. Yeah, it looks like they did consume cheese.
Yeah, cheese was popped by Void Spirit just before the Abyssal Blade reached Leo Style. I was actually curious how that interaction would go because they're both instant, but I think you have to turn around and be facing the direction of the hero for the Abyssal Blade.
All right, Burrow Strike Arrow, but again, I just don't see the damage coming out, and now Sand King hit by that Split Earth inside that Sentry will get saved by the Guardian Grease, but the bashes, they're just far too much. Leo Style secures him with that Astral Step. They do trade 1 for 1, but again, like Brax just buys back, coming back on into this fight. He's got to be careful. If he dies, this game becomes very difficult. Lincoln's is popped on the Faceless Void. They will get the Aegis. The question is, can they get more?
He's got BKB in a couple seconds now. I think MNZ might want to commit here. Turn around once he's got the BKB. Yeah, here he goes.
With Leo Style Split Earth on the mark, the Fissure, Brax backs into the game. Now they do have Rioya just respawning, but you need this Sand King. They have to back on the side of Thunder Predator. Be happy with what you've gotten, right? Infest, Storm Spirit, it's online. You know, they're gonna try and find a pick off here.
Just DD over here in the bottom room. They could grab this and
then bait it.
Yeah.
That'd be a huge rune. 35-minute bounties as well. They will be able to pick those up.
Just like that, the game turns on its head twice, Ricky. I mean,
it looked like it was Zero's game by a landslide for a while, and then suddenly, you know, that big Roche fight pretty much just turns it around. Thunder Predator, they're still 4,000 behind, but they are so much in control of this game.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think that the biggest thing you do is just start face checking everybody with MJZ. If you can't get this a good initiation off onto Storm or Leo Style, Faceless Void or Leo Style, you're just down. That's it.
Yeah, I think the Lincoln Sphere pickup by Faceless Void was very big, right? We talked about even if he still manages to get Burrow Strike, he can go down. So he gets the Lincoln Sphere, goes back for a Butterfly, and now this Faceless Void, very difficult for them to bring down. Does a ton of damage in the Chronosphere.
I still think the shopkeeper is ripping you off when he sells your Lincoln Sphere.
Yeah, probably.
My friend, how would you like 14 all stats or 4,600 gold?
Pretty good to me. Sounds like a bargain. Faceless Void obviously holding the Chrono. There's the Infest play. They go on in. They find the life. I'm sorry, the Faceless Void. What a way to open the fight. Abyssal Blade right on the mark will hold Frank down in place. Envy trying to secure the kill. Open Wounds is there. They get 3. A TP not going to be successful for the Enchantress right into the Yule Scepter, and another kill going the way of 0. What is with this game? Neph, explain this to me. What is happening?
I'd like to explain to the players right now because I've tried to tell them and I thought they knew. You set your Faceless Void in the front, he gets bursted down because he doesn't have enough HP. You just lose the fight. You can't be losing Leo or Void at the start of these team fights. You'd much rather just face check again with this Enchantress or play a little bit further back until you got that Roshan respawning. Now you're going to pay for this with a tier 3 and potentially even a Rax.
Yeah, the timing that they had there, right? Snake, I wasn't sure who popped the Lincoln Sphere on the Faceless Void, but the instant the Storm Spirit got there, they popped the Lincolns into an immediate Vortex, and then there's no save at that point. That hero is going to go down. There's just way too much damage from 0. No buybacks available on the side of Thunder Predator, and you're going to lose a bottom Rax, potentially mid as well, right? You have 20 seconds on Faceless Void, 40 on the Leshrac. Like, yes, you do have Blink Echo available. You have a lot of damage from your Void Spirit, but can you afford to lose any of those heroes right now defending this Rax?
You can't. You'd much rather just let them take this than think, okay, maybe we'll get this next fight. Maybe they won't have buyback on the Sand King. We can just run our
The
face
fake
into
back,
them.
they go in the stun right on the mark. They catch Leo style, and he will dissimulate down the Abyssal Blade onto the Earthshaker. Thunder
MNT?
Predator, they're going to chase. The Chrono, they catch Envy. Oh, the... Oh my god, what a save by Snake King. The Ethereal Blade just right there. Brax, the epicenter on the mark. The silence onto Faceless Void. The Vortex, they turn it. They bring it down. 80 seconds. No Faceless Void. Which team is faking which? And 0. They get the second lane of Barracks. You have no Faceless Void now. I think you just slowly whittle down tier 4s. You don't really want to bother with top. Well, I say that, and top's working on your tier 4, so maybe you do have to deal with this.
That's a careful one. It is difficult committing too hard onto their tier 4s though, because again, you have this Earthshaker, you have the Leshrac, a lot of damage come out very fast while you're locked down. Earthshaker wins TIs. That's what you got to know about this hero.
This is true. Backdoor protection. Hardly know her. And now suddenly your tier 3 and your Rax exposed. Faceless Void still sidelined. They do have Blink Echo. Well, I mean, they have Echo Blink in a few seconds, but you know, it might not be in time as Brax and Envy, the rest of the boys just do way too much damage. They get the melee, the range will fall, and that will be mega creeps for the side of 0.
I want to say you basically get what you deserve for running your Faceless Void this far ahead of everybody else. You probably felt pretty bad about those ones. We've all been in these situations. The enemies take way more than you feel like they should, and you're like, okay, let's get back in this game by chasing them out there. I'll get this Chrono onto several heroes. But it just came short of a couple. It only got the Sand King. He ends up getting saved because his teammates built around that.
Yep. It seems like this is a repeat of what we saw earlier, right? Taking that tier, going for the Rax in the top lane, right? They go for this play, Faceless Void, first one to die in the fight. It ends up being 4-0. I think it was 4-1 actually. Storm Spirit died, but a massive turn of events that favored 0, and they do the exact same thing on bottom Rax. You know, like you said, they didn't learn. They needed to keep that Faceless Void on the backside. My concern though is who hits your buildings though, right? If Faceless Void isn't it, it has to be Frank then, right?
Yeah, I mean, it can be Frank. He walks forward. You use all these buffs on him, like you Solar Crest him. You use he's got his own Lotus Orb, but that's all right. You build Force Staffs. You get stuff to get him out of there, but they didn't do that. Earthshaker's got a Force Staff. Enchantress has Solar Crest. I feel like a Force Staff would have been much better for this game. In fact, she's going in now.
He is building it now, yeah.
Too late. If you had Force Staffs this game to get like them off your heroes against a lifesteal, it's just like too important.
Yeah, in this
It's
game...
actually a neat bug I wanted to bring up real quick. Maybe that will fix it.
I love bugs.
You can use your Glimmer Cape on somebody from 850 range still, like you used to be able to. Or was it 750? If you cast it from within that 750, 850 range, it'll use it automatically. If you try to catch it from the outside, you'll approach to 550 before using it. So if you just spam clicking onto someone, you can still get the old range that you used to have.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Nice. I love bugs.
Yeah. So you could have built that item.
Well, Mega Creeps just pretty much makes this game incredibly difficult here for the side of Thunder Predator. They can kind of just wait out the Roshan for 1:13. They have complete map control on Zero, and this is third Rosh, right? Aegis Cheese, the potential for Refresher Shard, or the Aghanim Scepter, which at this point, it doesn't really matter which one you get. You have an Ags on your Sand King for that increased Burrow Strike range, which is bonkers. Storm Ags could be... Oh, he does have an Ags. I was like, you could go for Storm Ags, but he already has one as well. And now he's level 25.
Yeah, it's very big. Again, when they want to group up onto these heroes, like if they get this stun out on the face of Void, everyone on Thunder Predator is going to be committing as well. If at that point you get that electric
Nice
vortex
Shadow.
up,
The Burrow Strike completely whiffs on the backside of the fight. They're going to try and go into the Rioya, the Vortex. It does catch 3. The question is, do they have the follow-up arrow off the mark? And then Z time walks up north, but there's no one there. Brax, Burrow Strikes back the other way. There's a lot of confusion here from Thunder Predator. They can't find a target.
Brax is too hard to get onto now between the Sandstorm, the Aghanim Scepter, Burrow Strikes that he's now got.
Yeah, Aeon Disc as well, right? Like that. I think they tried to dust him there, but it purged it off.
Yep. Just teleporting around the team fight. Your backs are against the wall right now. The enemy team has Mega Creeps, and you feel sort of hopeless. It's so hard shoving these lanes out now because, again, you don't have a Battle Fury or Maelstrom Mjolnir hero.
It looks like it is the Aghanim Scepter. I mean, I guess you give it to Envy, right? Or no, they'll give it to Moo. Okay, I was like, you give it to Envy or Moo. I could have seen it on Envy. That rage save could have been pretty bonkers if they get it, but you now have it allows you to cast it on Granite Golem, right? So, yep, there it is. 15% bonus max HP for the whole team.
Yeah, that one is pretty good. But with everyone else already having Aghanim Scepters, there you go. In Envy, I don't think he's going to infest anybody give them that magic immunity. It might be good on Storm, but
yeah, my only thought was like a mid-fight save for Storm or something, because it does reduce the cooldown quite a bit as well, which is pretty substantial. It goes from 50 to 25, so half cooldown.
I really think that Roy is like a footnote on this game, though. He hasn't been that big or important. I think if he goes down in a team fight, it's not such a big deal.
Yeah. You've still got a lot of damage. I mean, Brax and Lifestealer this game are doing absolute work. You have the Chrono save on Snake King, which is just, how do you deal with this at this point? Like, Snake King, if his positioning in the last fight we saw, he was sitting so far back. And all he has to do is just throw that E-Blade out, save whoever gets Chronoed. And there's no nullifier, no real way to purge it. And there's definitely not enough magic damage in that Chronosphere to kill him.
Yep. Alright. That's a regen rune on Storm Spirit. He's got Cheese, he's got his Spell Prism. I think he's ready to ball in and be committed.
Speaking of balling in, Envy just going insane here, but the 4-man ball lightning, he catches him. The Burrow Strike right on the mark. Where's the follow-up damage? MJZ goes down, the Epicenter doing so much work. Leshrac will pop to Rioya. Now Envy inside the tier 4 is fighting them wall by himself. The open wounds isn't going to come out. They get the Aegis. MJZ, or MNZ, I'm sorry, the Face Void still has the Chrono. The question is, can he find anyone? A nice Vortex on the backside. They're going to give space to Envy. There's the Chronosphere, but E-Blade right on the money. Lifestealer, it is enchanted off. He is going to go down 95 seconds. Rioya, he's got to do what he can. A 4-man Vortex. Once again, the Burrow Strike does connect. He's doing so much damage. The Brax's Sandstorm and the pops from that Caustic Finale find 2. They will double buyback immediately. Rioya right into a Vortex, but an Echo Slam, but another Burrow Strike. Brax times it perfectly. The triple kill. They all pop to the Caustic Finale, and that is it. All 5 heroes go down. Oh my gosh, the damage from Caustic Finale. I want to see that. How much was that? It doesn't show. No. But oh my lord. The Starstorm Caustic Finales in that last fight was all of the damage from Zero.
Yeah, they blew up so fast, and again, they were all brought into that electric vortex a couple of times. It was like a black hole.
Yeah, they got 4-man vortexes twice.
Yeah, that was wild. Team Zero, I guess they managed to pull it off. I definitely think it was Brax that won them this game.
Owned this game. Look at his
Yeah,
hero damage.
Oh,
Look at his hero damage.
pull those
33,000,
up
highest
quick.
of the game.
Yeah, highest in the game on the offlane Sand King. That is insane. And he didn't really build these damage items. He went Veil for his team. He went the Aeon Disc. He went Blink Dagger. He went Pipe. And he ends up being the one popping off by like a lot too. Again, he got these great initiations off onto the Faceless Void, and Roy, he didn't do so hot this game for a really long time. I think if
The utility
if I'm-
Agnums was really all they really needed, I guess. Those 4-man vortexes followed up to the burrow strikes. They're sitting in a sandstorm, all veiled up. You have the Mirana Agnums. Like, there's just so much AoE cleave that's happening there that the vortex ends up just being better than anything else Roya could do. And he had Spell Prism, like you pointed out. The cooldown reduction ended up being really value.
Yeah. My biggest takeaway from this game, what TPredator could have done better, is 4 staffs on a couple of these heroes. Again, the Faces Forward gets jumped on by the Sand King. He gets stunned by the Electric Vortex. He gets stunned by Basher on the Life Stealer.
Yeah.
There's Arrow on the Mirana. Like, you move them away from those heroes, and that doesn't happen. You needed something to get him out of there when he gets gone on. If he's the only one hitting the tower, you need to have some better saves for him, and you just didn't. You went like, I'm looking at what they had, like 31 minutes in the game. It wasn't until like 33, 34, they managed to finish the first 4 staff on Matthew. Enchantress, she didn't have one that entire game. Leo Style didn't have one. Frank, of course, he just went the Lotus Orb there. And that was another reason why that the Aghanim Scepter is super good on Storm Spin. I'm pretty sure
It doesn't reflect off Lotus. You can't block
it.
it.
Doesn't reflect with the Lotus.
Yeah, there's a couple times they Lotused up the Faceless Void and he vortexed the person next to him and Void still gets pulled in. That happened in the mid lane fight there right before going on to end it. And, Lotus does not really help you there. So, incredible game from Zero. I mean, TPredator, it kind of looked like they might have brought themselves back into it, but Zero held their cool, and they take the W. This time we'll be going into game number 2 in just a moment with BTS Pro Series Season 3, the Americas. I'm rkryptic, with me, Neph. We'll see y'all after just a short break.